everybody.
All right. So, back to what I was saying, because I'm going to have to chop all that out when I get to highlight it. Excellent. All right.
I tweeted out and we're live.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go over the stuff that was on the show today first, and all the little tinkery bits and stuff that they threw at us. And, oh my God, some pretty awesome stuff here and there. That I was impressed about, especially all the bug fixes. And they hinted to some other stuff that was coming that I don't know if it's going to be on this patch, but definitely in one of the next few patches that comes out. The first thing that they told us about was the new props. We're getting the new trees, which I was like, yes, I can't wait for that.
That was fantastic.
And
so glad to see that. Those are cool looking.
That was one of the big things for me, that, you know, those trees are just beautiful. And they had this one that did like this little arching. It was like, oh my God, that is so cool. So
instead of just like a vertical tree, it was kind of like rolling at an S curve along the side of the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, where it did like this, and I guess it would either swoop back up or it was just like an archway or something.
And I noticed that those trees are the serpentine trees that the higher tier axes are supposed to be able to cut down to. Domino right-clicked on one at one point, and it was called something serpentine. So number one, it's curvy because serpents are, you know, curvy, and that's where we're going to be getting the additional trees in the new biome too. So woohoo!
The new heartwood.
Yeah, and they posted something about the textures are going to they've got some more revamping to do on the textures they just gave us that are going to be pushed out with this patch as well. That was on Twitter, and then I asked Domino if they knew if they were actually going to give us a contrasting wood texture for the new combine wood that they gave us. So,
and are they or are they not?
I don't know if I got a response on that. Let me check my sources, and we shall see here. But as apparently, no. It says not aware of any darker version than currently in game, but I had already talked to Rosie about it, or she kind of agreed with me on having a contrasting wood texture. So I was kind of hoping it would come with this patch, but apparently it's not. Let's see. And apparently,
I was excited to hear or to see the outfits we're getting. Too bad about the sci-fi door. I was hoping that was coming this time.
Well, they did show that sci-fi door in, what was it, like 2 episodes before or something like that, and everybody has been like really pumped about getting that, and then all of a sudden it got lost in the sauce, maybe.
No, they said that the non-Kinosian props were pushed back to not the update tomorrow, but the update after that, for the new prop management system that they're putting into place. So that's not coming tomorrow, but it's coming the one after that. So that's when they said we're getting the new.
Do we know if that's going to be a week or 2 weeks?
They didn't say.
They didn't. I'm going to assume like this week and then 2 more weeks and then we get another one. But I don't know. You know, if they've gone back to the, you know, weekly or the bi-weekly update patching or not. I can't verify it.
Rogue comment, yeah, man. want those sci-fi doors.
Yeah, you will get them. We can assure you will get them. Just not this week. Let's see. I went over. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think of. There was what was. I'm trying to remember all the stuff that they talked about today, and they showed some other. Oh yeah, the lamps, the Kinosian lamps will be coming out in this patch as well. So definitely prepare for that. I can't wait for that because that. I
like it. I really like it. I wonder if they want us to replace all of our voxel-based lamps that have been built.
Yeah, They look a hell of a lot better than the voxel-based ones.
Yeah, I've seen some good voxel based, but wow, these have a fidelity that's
Yeah.
needed for the
Definitely.
AAA MMO.
Now, one of the things outside of all the bugs that apparently are going to be fixed, and they said they had like a list like that long of bug fixes that will be coming, and that is something that I'm big on bug fixes. I love bug fixes. I love reading list of all the bugs, but they never put in all the bugs or a total listing of all the stuff they do fix.
How about that website that one of the players in the player community made?
I saw that website when
Pantera's on.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yep, he just came on.
Bear with us a moment while we get him in and I start moving around stuff to get him on the screen.
Okay.
So bear with us there, and let me get him on.
Yeah, and I noticed that they seem a lot more open about talking. Well,
crap.
not just open, but I mean focused on the bug issues, getting the game fixed, getting some of these outstanding things. And I like that they're focused on the building related issues because, wow, that's they need to resolve those first because as new people come into the game and want to build, for them to be running into bugs that are low-hanging fruit that they could fix pretty easily. So,
Well, something that they said that goes hand in hand with that is the fact that Terry even flat out said that they've been having meetings about when open beta is coming.
Yeah.
That was kind of a big deal for me about the fact that, I mean, it's not just, a vague thing. It's not whenever it's coming. They're actually actively talking about it currently. That's good. Because that goes hand in hand with a lot of the bug fixes we're seeing. Because, I mean, to be honest about it, if Landmark were to go into open beta right now and be available for the general public, it'd be torn to shreds by critics and everybody. Right now, we all understand it's a beta, it's in closed beta, so there's going to be bugs. But the fact that they're focusing so much on the bugs...
I think you hit it right there.
Yeah.
Well, the way I see it is if a bug is implemented, it should be knocked out as soon as possible. It's not something that should be stagnant for a very long period of time, especially if it's something that is known. And that is something I've always kind of harped on, that it annoys the crap out of me if if a bug sits there for 2-3 freaking months when it should have already been knocked out.
Oh, I agree. There's been several video games that I used to play religiously that developers have come right out and said, hey, sorry, we're not fixing any more bugs. I quit playing them. Yeah. If you know that there's a problem and you're just too lazy or inept in order to fix it, that's not my concern anymore. You don't need my money that much.
Yeah.
It's done.
Mass Effect 3 was one of those on the multiplayer. I mean, I formulated a list of over 100 bugs.
I remember you telling us. Yeah, I remember that.
I played as Edward the Black, and you can, if you want to go to the Mass Effect 3 forums, and you can look up Edward the Black, and if you find posts in there, I've got a post in there that's 100 different bugs, and it all got compiled into one. And while I was there, a month and a half later, and not a single one of them had been addressed.
Yeah, see, I mean, I'm not into Mass Effect. That's not my thing, but just that kind of...
That killed it for me for that company.
That behavior is just, especially on a large scale game like what Mass Effect is, because Mass Effect is not Landmark. I mean, that's a big game.
Yeah. Was it just me, or did everybody sense Terry just being unchained and just feeling comfortable talking about what he can do, what the team can get done, some of the vision he's got for stuff coming out? Dude, I was inspired. That's
what we want to see.
No kidding. Oh man.
Oh, yeah. And there goes Joe again.
Is Joe having trouble with his camera?
I guess.
No idea.
I don't know.
Thanks, Dying Soul. Appreciate it, man. We're excited about this. Really excited. We Tim and I started talking months ago about doing a show, talking about Landmark, and we like to keep it kind of loose.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I don't know. Can you speak up a little bit more?
All this money into this thing, and I have the damnedest trouble with my volume. I don't know what it is. It's either too much or not enough. So I'm trying. I love you guys. All right. Can you hear me now? Are you good?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound good to me.
Okay. So we're still. It says he's busy. How can you be busy? Pantera. Okay. The other.
Might be having trouble with this computer.
Some other things that they really didn't go into major details on what it was coming up in the patch, other than the bugs and those props. I didn't really hear too much about anything else, but some things that they hinted to in upcoming patches is a prop management system. And of course, he disappears again. Damn you.
Yeah, that prop management system. Everybody's looking forward to that, because I think that's born out of necessity. Everybody's experiencing the similar frustration with having to manage so many bloody props. And Katina, thank you for that. Bad news: the select tool sensitivity fix can't make it in tomorrow's update. It'll be our next big game update after that, though.
Okay, well, select tool.
Izel.
Sensitivity. Oh yeah, where it jumps off and you're like, whew, and you have this huge selection instead of a small selection that you were trying to get. Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
Got it.
Thanks, Katina. But the prop management system, and I think this is going to be something that's going to be pretty awesome when it does come, because it does away with the way we do props now. You know, once you earn or pick up a particular recipe, I'm guessing, is the way they're talking about with this?
I would assume, like, you learn a recipe like you would with the sets of armor, and then you can just, like, materialize the prop that you want to there. You don't have to do... I don't know if they're going to have to go to a crafting station or what, but I would assume that's the way it works. You just have to learn the recipe, and then you know that prop.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to have the materials to be able to make that prop.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. I can live with that. It's much kind of like how we do some of the other stuff already, sort of. And that way you can actually multiply, and you just keep click, and do kind of like Bob Dob with his flaming torches and stuff. Pretty.
So one thing I'm not clear on those props, when they come back into your inventory, do they go into a window tab that's just for props, or do the materials go back into your material inventory?
I am hoping as a part of this prop management system is they're no longer in your inventory and they're on their own damn tab.
Kunksmore just said it right there in chat. They've already said as much that it's going to be a tab. Whether or not but that's what we're getting, who knows? But they have said that it's going to be a new tab.
That's what
I agree.
want.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I want all that room for whatever I'm wearing, you know. If I want to wear one suit and change over to another.
Because we know you're styling, man.
I am styling.
You're leading Landmark fashion.
You see this new haircut, right?
Hey, I'm just glad the eyebrows grew back.
All right, so something that got mentioned inside the chat that I don't know if like certain people even noticed what was said in chat half the time, but I'm kind of trying to read what people are saying and what it is that they would like to really see. And no, I'm not speaking about, Jim's unicorns. Something that was mentioned that really kicked it off in my head, and I was like, whoa, that's a great idea, was a texture color palette. And I kind of like rolled in my head there, and I was like, you know, and of course I'm gonna have to keep calling Joe here just so I can keep his picture up. Sorry guys.
A texture color palette.
A texture color palette. I can go into my materials, I can right click it, and I wrote this down exactly how I would like to see it in the game here. But they said, you know, somebody said, I can't remember who it was, but whoever said it, you're freaking awesome, whoever came up with this idea. But the way I pictured it in my head was you have kind of like your hot bar, except it's a smaller version of it, and you can move that sucker anywhere on the screen that you want. You can turn it this way, have it up against the side of your screen, but it's 6 boxes. And I could go inside my materials, I could right click a material and be like, assign to 1, assign to 6, which would correspond to a particular slot number. And instead of having to go through every bit of materials all the way through, you can just reach out there, click, and I've already got 6 of them that I know I want to use for this particular build. And you don't even have to use Alt to select it off in the distance somewhere. It could be right there.
Wow. That's, man, you know, you got to get that to Domino right away.
That is a fantastic
right away.
Idea,
that
man.
is something they need to get in before this thing goes to open beta.
But but that was something somebody said. They said, you know, somebody was like, God, I wish I could remember who the hell it was, because they are just the awesomest people in the world. Because, you know, you take that idea, and, you know, they was like, when are we getting a color palette? And that was all they said. But they didn't really go into details on it. And then I just ground it away in my head. And I was like, man, just give us 6 boxes that we can right click a particular material and assign it to one of those 1 out of 6. And if you assign it to a number, I can go in there, right click it, assign to 1. So I can overwrite the one that's already there. So it's
sounds like that's just some simple UI programming. I would hope that
well, programming's programming, so.
Aha!
Hey, he's in, man. Yes.
All right. So he's alive. That's amazing. So
why is it amazing?
To you, good sir.
Because we've only been calling you for the last half hour,
yeah.
trying to figure out where you are. Yeah, but whenever you came online, Tim started calling you.
Yeah.
Because Gio said, "Good Skype on your phone."
He's a pro, you know.
Okay, Corain just said Terry just answered her tweet about buying claims with Station Cash and the.
That was the other thing. That was the other thing I've got on my tablet here was about buying claims, and I was like, man. I would buy the hell out of them.
You see her post? That's great. Corain, thank you. So he's saying, yeah, they intend to do both primary and add-on claims being purchased for Station Cash. Thank you. You know what? I'm infused. I'm excited. And I mean, this started last night. I was doing a late night stream, which I don't do very often, but got the kids to bed early. And I noticed there were more than half a dozen people streaming a Landmark.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing a lot more Landmark streams, which is right on. Oh, and during the show, man, another thing, Colette, yes, oh my God, she said that one of the things that they're kicking around is using the channel to promote other streamers and other stuff going on in Landmark. But old things ignore me. So, Colette, you're fabulous. You did you've run that show. It's really good. Great job.
I really don't want to know what Pantera's doing behind that Write Me thing or whatever the heck it is.
Picking his nose.
I really don't want to know. That is disturbing. That is seriously disturbing there.
Putting on deodorant? I don't know what.
No, I smell good. I'm okay.
All right. Welcome to live TV, everybody.
I got the windows halfway set, so we're good. Okay.
These are my friends.
Now, and I did. I actually did.
Poor Devlin.
add-on claims in shop. So I did have this on my my notepad here, and that was the coolest thing in the world, because if they give us a certain amount in the game that you specifically can get up to through achievements or through some type of a process, and then after you reach that mark, if you want to get more or have a larger claim, you can purchase them. But I honestly think that you should have to reach maximum through the achievement system before you're allowed to purchase it on the store.
So just to clarify here, I want to make sure I understand. Like we have the 2 that we can craft right now, and then
2 primaries.
2 primaries we can craft.
Yep.
And then just arbitrarily say that you can add 3 more primaries with the achievement system, so you can have a grand total of 5. What you're saying is you must, in order to start buying them from the marketplace, you have to get those 5 first.
Well, all of them, including the additional claims. I don't know how the.
They should let people buy them straight off. I disagree, but that's, but either way,
That's a pay to play.
Look, but think about this, guys.
That's a pay to play to me, man, and
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
see it like that.
But it's don't get distracted by it. Don't get distracted by it. What this means is that those buddy keys that we've been telling people to hang on to now, don't give those out. You're gonna want those. Wow. Now if they do this, then man, people can start getting those buddy keys to their buddies and feel good about getting these people into the game permanently. I think adding the primary and add-on claims is a great thing.
I like the idea of being able to purchase it beyond a certain point, but I think you should have to reach that point before you start purchasing them. I know that puts a delay on the money back into the system, but once you hit that certain cap and you're going, man, my claim ain't big enough, I need something bigger, and okay, what the hell happened?
Well, just for the record, I'm good either way. Just the fact that they're going to make more available in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Antetta, what say you, sir?
Here's what I say. I'm kind of with Tenma right now, where it's like a whole lot of damn it, it's like it's not super difficult to get, or it kind of is for new players, to get 9 claims set up. Right? The whole idea is you have a single claim and you have a certain place around it other than vertical as far as what you can do around said claim. To me, the purchase ones would be I can place a claim on an attached. So instead of having to have a claim adjoining a standard claim, you would then only the purchase claims would allow you to expand beyond the attached claim. Does that make sense?
That's not bad. Y'all got him right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Sorta.
Say if you're 9 or you're 3x3, which is the 9 claims that we have now, we have 1 primary. Now, if I wanted to expand past the 9 or the 3x3, I would have to purchase to expand on past that point.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. All of these.
I can agree with that.
I'm good with that.
I can agree with that. But it's like I said, I think you should have to reach a max point before you go into to where you purchase it in the store. I can guarantee you're still going to make your profit.
I
Okay.
also think there should
You
be
will.
some kind of ceiling as to how much you can purchase through the marketplace.
This is also true. So, for example, we don't want someone going in there and going 20 claims by 20 claims. There does have to be a limit.
I would do it.
But look,
I
hey,
know
man,
you
Steve
would.
Klug, God, that was great. He was in the show today. He talked. They had that question that they brought up, which was about giving the player the ability to reduce the no build zone around their claim, so they can reduce that border, that barrier, so that a buddy can come attach one of their claims, so it's flush with their existing their existing thing. So you got your 3x3, reduce the area, the no build area around it where people can't reduce that, so your friend can come up and drop a claim down right next to you and start building.
And we actually after we had I think it was after the Q&A session, and I had spoken to another player, and we were sitting there going, okay, so, and what I kind of thought is, okay, so they're limiting us to the size of the claim because of performance. And I say, so, I'm sorry, so what do you plan to happen when all this is a 30 by 30 Kinos city?
Good question. Good question.
Sorry, man. Like, it's going to happen. We're going to have these cities.
What I think that means is that for the time being, right now, because that's another one of the reasons why I said that they need to have a little bit of a howdy Warcraft, what's up? A little bit of a ceiling as to how much we can buy, because they said there's a technical limitation as to how much, we can actually have, which is what Pantera is talking about. But I think part of the beta process that we're in right now is them testing and seeing how far they can stretch that out. Right now it may be limited, but by the time we get to EQ, it may not be as limited as it is right now, is what I'm saying.
Well, they've also, in the past talked about, where you set that claim in stone and it does some remodeling.
Yeah.
Right?
Once it becomes a permanent part of the thing, it's in your map already. It's in your cache, so to speak.
What's it called in EverQuest 2? You had where it's set in stone. Somebody knows it. I guarantee you somebody knows the name of it.
Not this guy. But the reason why I said that they need to have a finite amount of space, a finite number of claims that they can purchase, is that the game space, the game land that we have, is a finite amount of land. And if everybody who can monetarily have the ability to go out and do what Tenmo was talking about and do like a 20 by 20 claim, there's going to be a severe lack of space for new players to come in. That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about making it a small number of claims, but just putting some kind of cap on it. That's all I'm saying.
No. Well, I mean, you can always imagine a 20 by 20 Spider Oz, or a 20 by 20 Clarity, or a 20 by 20 somebody else. Bob Dob. It's gonna hurt.
It would bring down the internet in San Diego.
All right.
I mean.
Katina,
no, these are good points. These are great points, because that's a lot of voxels. This voxel thing has a lot of data that they've got to push out from the servers there in San Diego. I mean, an insane amount of data. It's unlike any other video game ever made. So there are all those realizations. You know what? But I think they're actively looking as to how they can help us achieve that goal that we've wanted for so long, Tenma, since we first talked about guild builds, right? Back in Alpha, we talked about guild builds. So, I mean, wouldn't that be great?
36 mega claim, and I can assure you that it can be done. Now, performance-wise, it's a beast. It's a beast until you stand there for about 10 minutes, and then everything kind of caches, and then you're okay.
So, I mean, but honestly, if a 36 mega claim is a problem, what are they going to do next when Kinos is huge, when Freeport is huge?
Kinos will not be an active build zone.
Well, the
model will be in your
That's what I was talking about them testing their limitations now in beta with us. Yeah. By the time they get to EQN, they're going to have a lot. But number one, technology is going to improve. It always improves exponentially. We all know that. It's the way technology goes. By the time EQN gets around, because I'm sure they have at least something done with EQN at this point, probably quite a bit. By the time we get to the point where it's player ready to go and for us to start exchanging data with their servers, that technology that they have is going to be a lot better than what it is right now, and they're going to be able to afford it a lot better than what they can right now as well. Ergo, right now, limited, but by the time EQN comes around, not as much.
Well,
That brings back to one where he was saying because of the spikes of information, the cost of having a server is stupid huge.
Well, kind of going back a little bit there because I'm typing on my desktop. Sorry about that. Going back, this kind of goes back into what I was saying before, where you set a particular claim in stone and it becomes uneditable, and the actual voxels are changed to say vectors or whatever props are made of. Okay, it sets that particular claim in stone and becomes uneditable, and then you're able to set it back to where it is editable, and then it converts it back into voxels. If
makes it edible, like for eating?
Yes. I can eat my claim. Publish. Yes, Corain that's the mode that I was thinking of. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But like edible. I want to make my claims edible.
Yeah, it's you actually publish it. Now, if that's how they're going to be doing all the claims, then I can understand it's going to be less of a load on your computer versus what it is now when everything is voxels. It actually sets them in a published state where it actually changes the state of those voxels into something else that is easier to read by the client. Did I hit right? Something like that?
Question.
Answer.
If they do that, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I'm just curious. If they do that, will the published claim still be destructible? Because if it is not...
I would assume,
yes,
and assumptions are like buttholes. Everyone's, never mind.
So what you're talking about it. So
yeah,
you would publish it.
It's like Angel Bay, where they made those things part of the permanent landscape.
Yeah, so
they're still destructible. Basically, those things were published permanently. So
yeah.
Okay, so it wouldn't become a mesh like a prop is, but it would become a part of the landscape, still destructible, but not. It would still have. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Typically, in one of these games like EverQuest or EverQuest Next or any number of games you play, the data for the zone or the area or the city that you're in is stored as a file, or the cached stuff on your computer already, and the only thing that you've got to represent to everybody who's in the area is, in this case, would be destruction of voxels.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just, that whole theory is all based off some stuff that Dave said like 5 months ago.
And honestly, I think this is really a discussion for something down the road. I think the
we gotta get Klug back on the show. That's what
I think the takeaway from the show today is that they are really thinking about this. That they bothered to bring that question up on the show, I think is positive for all of us.
Yeah, at least
about questions.
Okay.
Hey, Tara.
I am sorry, but copying and pasting and spamming your questions is useless.
Corain, stop it.
Saying.
Oh,
you mean during the live shows?
Yes. Yes, it's pointing at his damn head right now. It's the best.
I did it 3 times and I stopped.
And I was thinking about this when I was trying to watch it. Mm-hmm. Is everybody's like just repeating and just copying and pasting themselves.
I saw that, man. There were a bunch. That chat just flies by. I'm trying to watch on my phone, going, "Oh my god!"
That's exactly what if you think it's flying by for you, it's flying by for them too.
Well, I tried to catch them when they're looking, and of course, there's always that delay. And it pertained to the clothing, because they were talking about clothing at the time.
So what you're saying is you're like now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
No. No.
Yes.
No. That. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But I wanted to know about the hats because they've showed us the hats before.
I don't
Like,
remember showing the hats. I really don't.
what?
They did show the hat.
Yeah.
They did show the hats, and they
When
said
did they show
as
the
much
hats?
whenever they showed the hats for the Western outfits.
Yep.
And they also said that we would be getting like helms and things for the armor that we already have instead of just an icon. So it's
That was before
headwear.
Christmas.
Headgear is a thing. Headgear is a thing.
That was what, back in October, November ish.
What do I think when you say head?
If I think the
big break.
hat or the helmet looks cool on my character, I want to be able to turn it on. If I don't like the way it looks, I want to be able to turn it off.
Like a white beanie?
Because I mean, if I get that Western suit, oh my gosh, I want the sombrero. Look at Devlin. He's gonna pull out a sombrero. Watch.
Oh no, he's got one. No way. Oh my God, no. I thought he was gonna put on the alien mask. There you go, Joe.
Man, I swear to gosh.
Oh God. All right. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Yes.
There you go. So Devlin's new name is Clint.
Don't be mad just because I look like Richie Sambora.
Yeah, hats don't work with streaming.
No,
I'll
they
tell you
don't. They do not work at all.
Uh-oh, crap. Where's Gio going?
I just had to go grab something I just got out of the voxel
Oh,
forge. All right.
Everybody's a prop now?
Okay, so I guess this leads into the next really big thing for the show tonight, and that is the discussion about what was posted.
Tim was going to talk about a box of chocolates.
What? No.
And yes,
Oh,
yes,
God,
Katapari, the
man.
Texans have arrived. And for everybody out there who doesn't know, once you move into Texas, you have to buy one of those. You have to.
True.
It's law. It is absolute law.
I have a picture of me wearing a Texan hat when I was in Texas, so
Well, Scott,
A Texan
for not
hat.
having one.
I didn't get to purchase it though.
Well, you're not in
I
Texas,
couldn't afford
so
it. I couldn't.
Well,
afford
here's
it.
the funny thing.
Not a
Anybody-
But
real
you have to wear,
Texas
and you have to have the boots that go with it, because if you're wearing the Yankee
Exactly.
boots, they'll lock you up. They'll put you in the dock.
But you got,
Anybody who knows, this hat is actually out of season. This is a straw hat, and I'm not supposed to be
Summer.
wearing it during the winter. So
Spring.
anyway,
Yeah.
there it is.
okay, enough of
Yeah,
all
for
that.
something completely different.
yeah. Okay, we're going to get on to the big subject for today, and for those of y'all that did not get to read this particular thing that was put out by Storybricks,
Oh,
Oh, good advice. Yes.
I'm gonna.
Oh, dude. Oh, you're gonna get into that?
Yes, we're fixing
Wow.
to get into the big story. This
All
is
right.
the big story for the whole week. Bigger than the patches, bigger than anything. Adult things. Ignore him. Okay. As y'all know, that Storybricks and Sony Storybricks and Daybreak kind of parted ways after the merger, or after the selling of the company. Okay. And now Storybricks is now closed. They have closed their doors. They're no longer a company. Now, there was a big write-up that they put online, and I'm going to post this in channel so everybody can kind of read this with us here.
Can read it, see what we're talking about, because
Yeah.
now, like, Tinma showed me this, and I already
biggest-
knew about Storybricks closing, but I didn't see the really important thing.
The important thing on that whole entire page is at the bottom where it says PS. And I'm going to read this out to y'all so y'all can all be on the same page with us when we discuss this here. There is one more story to tell before we part ways. We fell in love with the EverQuest franchise, and we wanted the best possible future for it. We knew Sony Online, 300 plus employees, IIRC, was for sale, so Storybricks, barely 10 people, tried to actually buy out the whole division. We retained an investment banking firm as a proxy, and they went directly to Sony corporate, bypassing the local executives. We would have been able to raise the necessary capital and had interviewed new and existing management ready for turnover. Alas, it was not meant to be, as the terms offered by Sony Japan were unacceptable to us and to our investors. It is my understanding that other buyers had the same reaction, and in the end, Columbus Nova got a completely different deal than the one that we were offered. But by then, our investor group had moved on. Make no mistake, the company needs cuts badly, and we would have cut and cut deeply, possibly as deep as Columbus Nova did, but maybe we would have cut more senior management and less developers instead. It was our intention to acquire the 38 studios assets and made them available to players in EQN. Moreover, we would have probably changed the server infrastructure, allowing people to run their own servers. It would not have been a very economical EverQuest, but we would have done the best to service our customers with the limited budget of an independent studio who wanted to punch above its weight. We really did try our best, and our best was not good enough.
So, for those of you out there wondering what all of that means, it means two things. First of all, it means that we, the players, got very, very close to, instead of having Columbus Nova buy out SOE, it was almost Storybricks before they closed up shop. It also means that somewhere out there in a universe not that far removed from this one, Storybricks is running the show.
Yep. And it
Missed
would
it
have
by
been
that much.
But
Now-
but while it sounds like Storybricks have been running the show, the truth is the investment firm they would have brought in to do the deal, they would be running the show, and we'd be in a similar situation.
Still, though, the
Stick
point
capital.
is, we got
It was
that
them.
close to it. We got
was
that
Yeah,
close.
difference.
it was them.
I mean, it's always going to be woulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
and it's, right,
is
yeah.
out. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's-
And, well, look, Columbus Nova, you know what? They had I think they already had a relationship with Sony, and they are certainly, this I know, they are hard-nosed, tough negotiators, and they got what they wanted.
Well, you
Thus,
see,
ergo the deal that we have today. So.
Stefan loved SOE and Daybreak.
Oh, he did.
And
He
EverQuest.
was-
That man
He's a
loved
sweet guy.
it. And
Yeah.
he was one of those guys, and he was one of the senior guys over at Storybricks. He was like one of the two senior guys, and there was 10 of them in Storybricks. And they were able to get close to the price that what SOE or Sony Japan wanted for them. Now, I would have rather been under those 10 guys that actually loved the game than to be under Columbus Nova, which loved nothing but money. That's how I look at it. And I really wish Stefan and the guys over at Storybricks really had pulled it off. I really wish they had.
You know, I'm hopeful. I wonder. I'm curious. This is a question for the team over there. But are you guys going to pick up any of that Storybricks talent, or have you already done so?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like they were collaborating with them already. And interesting post for them to put up as a farewell post. It's a good read. I suggest everybody, if you haven't already read it, go have a look. It's a
really good
interesting.
read.
Very interesting.
You'll pick up on stuff that you didn't even know about, that no one knew about. I mean, none of us knew that Storybricks was trying to buy the company. Hell, we didn't even know anybody else besides Columbus Nova was after them. And
This also-
that was
Smelly
like,
feet.
wow.
Yeah, it's
Just to
five
be-
guys.
Just to be the turd in the punch bowl, why? I mean, that's kind of like taking your hand at Vegas, folding, and then someone else wins and goes, "Oh, by the way, I would have won."
Well, they had the inside info that we don't have. In other words, where they're already at on EverQuest Next, and what potential EverQuest Next has of being the next one to take out, World of Warcraft.
It potentially sheds a little bit of light and clears the somewhat murky and muddy waters that we are currently in right now. It answers a couple of different things.
Right there.
It answers a couple of things. First of all, it answers why Storybricks are not developing the AI for EQN and Landmark anymore. First of all, they closed up shop, which some people may or may not be already aware of. Whether or not which came first, it doesn't matter. Second of all, it just clears up the water. I mean, it really seriously does. It sheds a little bit more light on the situation.
That's exactly what this needed.
Because right now we're getting a whole bunch of not any kind of real answers. Not that we need them or we even deserve them from our end of it.
Exactly.
But it satisfies our curiosity. Bingo. That's it.
Which comes, so your phrase comes, just what you exactly just said right there, comes back to one of the things that they did on the show, which is, are we being frank enough? And Terry even asked, this is what's happening.
There's a level that they can and cannot cross.
Yeah.
And we all know that. There is a line, legally speaking, that they can't cross. Where that line is, we don't know. I think a lot of us would be a lot better if they stopped directly at that line, but they can't. They can't go all the way up to that line. It's up to everybody else to fill in a little piece of a puzzle like what Storybricks has done. We didn't even know that piece of the puzzle was in the picture. Now that we have that piece and that we know the picture goes out that far, we have a little bit more information on the entire subject.
Yeah,
my internet dropped right as Terry was starting to talk about this, and I'm going, oh no, oh what is this? And then when it came back, I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm like, holy crap.
He got almost to a Dave level of is it clear enough for you?
Please back away from me.
And of course, it took me 5 minutes of looking at what are they talking about.
Is it safe?
Is it safe? Yeah, it's got
great show tonight. Great show.
That was a side of Terry I don't think I've ever seen before. It was awesome. Loved it.
It was good to see him stretching his legs a little bit.
Another thing was we were talking about it in TeamSpeak that the whole entire crew seemed a lot more relaxed on today's show versus all the other shows that we've seen since the buyout. And that was something that was majorly appreciative. I'm ready to shut up. That was majorly a big thing for us that were watching it. We were sitting in TeamSpeak watching the show and talking about what was going on and stuff, and that was something that really stood out to a lot of those of us that were sitting in the TeamSpeak, and so that was a big bonus. It was much like the workshop show last week when everything kind of calmed down a little bit, and they did the change in format on how they were doing things, and it was a lot more company-wide type relaxing.
They found their feet. They found their feet. They're a little bit more relaxed about all the changes that are going on now. They're used to what's going on now.
Yep.
They've all, to one extent or another, gotten used to the changes that have happened. So have we. They recognize that. We recognize that for them. It's a whole big circle. They're relaxed. We're relaxed. It's all groovy.
Yeah. I was happy with it. I was really happy that, we started seeing some smiles. Everybody didn't look like
me.
Like this.
Like me. Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to do my Devlin look.
No.
You got to look this way.
You need a very pretty wig, sir.
I swear, and Devlin's going back to work next week or tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Gosh, man.
Tomorrow.
Actually, really tomorrow, or?
Well, there's
Are you
been
guys getting
something.
snow over there, man? I saw on the weather map this awful thing going over
Yes,
parts of
yes,
Texas.
there is a something of a snowstorm happening here, which means there is some snow falling, and ergo nobody has any idea what's going on. So, so far as I know, yes, I go into work tomorrow.
Awesome.
No one knows how to drive in snow. End of story.
No, no one has any idea how to drive in snow here. People barely know how to drive in rain here. And like I was telling, like I was telling Tenma, people in my city literally stop at green lights. They stop at green lights. So it's.
Well, you gonna take the Batmobile or the Batcycle?
Well, see, around here, we don't have green lights. We don't have red lights. We got flashing lights.
Fair enough. But
we stop, we look both ways, and we keep going.
And I see a lot of congratulations out there in chat. Thank you guys very much. But yeah, that does mean that my absence as of late in Landmark is going to be continued for at least another 6 weeks, minimum, and it could be beyond that.
Well, we are reaching close to the end of the show, and I know Gio will be picking up and beating his kids here in a few minutes. So, I question, Landmark Nightlife. Pantera, are you picking it up?
I work 10-hour shifts, so I get off like at 6:30. So it's gonna be tough sitting in front of a computer for 10 hours a day and then coming and doing it for another 2 or 3. It's not easy.
Well, I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to make an effort to keep it going, and we'll just have to see how it goes. I want to keep that seat warm for Devlin, in all honesty. And when I can, I'll be doing a late night stream for sure. But that's usually after 10 o'clock my time. So depends on things here at home.
Okay. Well. We, once Devlin gets back to work and all that, we will have a slot open for another host here on the show. So if anybody out there is interested, contact any of the people you see here, or excuse me, this way. Contact any of these guys here and myself if you're interested in being a host here. Until Devlin gets back.
I feel like the doctor. I don't want to go. I really don't. But oh well, that's the way it goes.
And Pantera's drawing again. Y'all better watch out.
And I'm still gonna be playing the game. Yep. I mean, I was watching the Landmark Live today. I'm still very much a part of the community here. But as far as appearing on shows, at least during this time frame here, the Morning Brew show and certainly Nightlife is all.
Oh, that's sweet. And the little devil horns.
Oh.
And the evil smile.
Oh, bro hug. Oh, that's terrible. But yeah, I'm still hanging around.
Sweet. Okay, Gio, what you got going on this week?
Man, we gonna be doing some interesting stuff coming up in the mornings, early mornings. I'm gonna start streaming music on my personal channel, which is G-Man Gaming, G_man_ gaming, and then we go live with the Morning Brew at 10 a.m. But we're gonna look at possibly doing one show a week on the game development channel on Twitch, where we're just going to focus on the Kino stuff, and we're going to talk about the style guide, and when we do our thing to go around like a building, we're going to put our game development hat on and just go do this. I think it's going to be G-Spot Gaming. It's the name of my original business.
G-Spot.
Oh man.
G-Spot. Yeah.
It's been a while since we all hung out, in case you guys can't tell.
All right, so.
But we got a distinct goal, though, man. And you know what? I think I'd like to do that
you're doing that on game development stream or
yeah,
channel?
get this. Okay, so get this. So the game development channel on Twitch is for just that, game development, and that's what we're doing with Landmark. So you know how we run around and have the silly, crazy show and do this this epic claim tour thing every day.
It's purely serious. I have no idea what you're talking about.
There is a channel on Twitch called Game Development, and it's where developers, game developers, broadcast their work, what they're doing. And because, well, we don't have the AI stuff into the game yet, but you know what? We're building assets for EverQuest Next, and this is a way to reach another audience. My goal with this is to go out there and expose Landmark to people that are interested in game development that haven't seen Landmark for whatever reason, and when they see our show, 50 or more viewers on there, we'll rise to the top segment. And I'm hoping we can pull some more people. And once a week, I want to try and go do that. We'll see. I'd love to do it when you're available, Tenma, because that would be I think epically cool.
Hey Tim, are you available?
I don't know.
Wait.
Maybe.
You want some candid photography? Hey, nudge. Wink's as good as a nod wine bat.
Depends on what day. We'll work it out. We'll figure out.
It's when I expose Landmark to more people, to a bigger audience, because we have people just fall into our stream. I don't know where the heck they come from, but wow, what's this?
And we love you all anyway.
Every stream, there's someone saying, "So what's Landmark?" That's a new person.
Yeah. So I think we could get a lot of people exposed to Landmark if we do something that's really focused on game development, developing assets for EverQuest Next on the game development channel and Twitch.
All right, let's see. Well, Devlin, you're going to work, so I don't know if I want to ask you what you're doing this week, because I know what you're going to be doing. Poor guy.
Shoveling snow.
Welcome back to the real world.
I never left, but thanks. Appreciate
it's
it.
like high five. And Pantera, how about you? What's your plans for this week?
Well, I work, until 6 Central most of the time, and still building. Still got my keynotes ideas I'm working on, and my banners and stuff like that I'm gonna be playing around with. That's really about it. Just skirt around and seeing what happens. I want to see those trees. I want to.
Oh God.
I
can't either.
I thought of you when I saw those damn props, man. Oh my God.
I know what Gio was thinking. He was like, "You see that curved-looking tree? That looks like Tim."
All bent down.
Bastard.
It's supposed to be like this. I mean, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think I'm going to end the stream at that.
It's probably a smart idea.
All right.
Shrink him down, and they look like his eyebrows after they jumped off his face.
But we had pretty much nothing but positive stuff today, which was great.
Awesome.
It was
really
like one of the first times we haven't really had any really negative stuff going on. I mean, the company itself, it seems like they have rebounded and are just going headstrong, and I'm so happy over that.
I did like the server wipe panic.
The what?
The server wipe panic. I was like, "Oh crap!" And everyone was like, "Oh, server wipe," and you're like,
It's not going to be mid-March, so don't worry about it.
Took them a while to answer that.
I wouldn't.
But I got the impression it's at hand. The last time we saw these guys get together, wow, man, my heart sank. I thought open beta is going to be way in the future, but
honestly, I'm scared of open beta, and this is why. They have so many assets that they will be dumping into the game with open. It's gonna,
and all the new players will be ass.
And then after what happened with H1Z1 on its opening day.
All right. Well, here's how I look at that particular situation. Unfortunately, the industry, gaming wide in general, nowadays has gotten to the point where release dates are not what they used to be. Mm-hmm. Release dates are now emergency bug test dates for the first week or so. And I don't like it. I don't like it any more than anybody else does, but the fact is we're going to probably be seeing some kind of bug happen. That's all there is going to be about it. We just need to be prepared.
We've lived with bugs since day one. And for those
what happens when 10,000 people try to place a claim flag at the same time?
Been there, done that.
In the same place.
Been there, done that.
As long as my computer doesn't catch fire,
I mean,
I can't wait to see it.
Trust me, we've seen it all. But this that's coming up with the Open, we will see a rejuvenation of Landmark. We'll see a crap ton of people going, yes, finally I can get in and I don't have to pay $20. Seriously, you could have. You waited a year.
Chinma's gonna flip that tree upside
It's
down.
okay, but
Eh.
we're gonna keep it. Yeah, it's gonna be like this. But
Sorry,
but
everybody.
yeah,
God,
it's
a degenerate.
I can't wait until Open. But at the same time, I like a slow progression to get things exactly perfect. And that way, when it goes out and it gets to the people, and it's like a flawless game.
Yeah, it's got to have a lot of polish. Really, my take.
No.
Yes. I want to see polish, and that, because polish and the least amount of bugs that you could possibly do for a game before it gets released out to the public, the better that game does long term. Because as soon as somebody downloads it and puts it in and it don't work, you lost that guy. You lost him.
But
just
bad
read the comments on Steam.
Bad publicity is infinitely more dangerous to anything that is released, game, product, merchandise, doesn't matter what it is, than positive.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the big thing is, I'm just even talking about like a company I work for. It's when you work tech support, you deal with like 2% of the happy, 10% that's pissed. You never talk to the content. Never.
No,
you don't.
So many content people out there that makes it maybe worthwhile, but you don't know.
I'm that guy you won't calling you when your shit's broke. I'm like, how you doing today, Mr. George? How you doing? I put a smile on my face, and when I call somebody, I act like I'm the happiest person on the face of the planet. And I scared Pantera off.
Normally it's Dylan that would run away at that comment, but that's okay.
I do. When I rarely have to call a customer, but when I do call a customer, I want them to know that, hey, I got your shit fixed. Oop, I'm sorry about that. But I want them to know, hey, I got your crap fixed. And I'm like, sir, I just got you back up online. Can you verify all your stuff to make sure it's up and running? And they go around and they check all their stuff, and they'll say, this right here isn't working right. Well, I was like, well, unplug this and plug that back in, and let's wait a few moments, and we'll get that stuff back up and running before I get off the phone. And that's how I do things. And
that's the correct way to do things like that.
Yeah, and I go in with a smile on my face. I stand up, stretch my back out, and put a smile on my face. And when I get on the phone and I talk to that customer, I don't treat them like pure ass, And I guarantee you, anybody that's dealt with tier support at any given time,
it's a half-ass.
You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, you've gotten somebody at tier support that is like, yeah, I'm calling from this such place, and I'm working on your crap, and they act like.
Thank you for calling Tier 1 Tech Support. How can I help you today?
Yeah, and they're doing this exactly what Devin's doing.
All right, well, hang on. Let me see what I can do about that. Let me put you on hold real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, here's
definitely. I can see it.
Tech support. Still, how may I help you today? I am sorry to hear about that. Let me get you some help. And dude, I talk to my customers, and I just a whole different ball game. But
I'm a tier 2 tech guy, by the way. That's what I do. All right, I think that's going to be pretty much the end of the show. We just passed over the hour mark, so we try to keep this in an hour time frame. So because Gio has to go beat his kids and stuff. So with that, our next show will be on Monday at what time? Monday.
Oh, Monday at 1:30.
And that will be on Gio's channel which is Landmark Explorers.
AM?
Twitch. At PM.
AM.
PM.
Yeah.
1:30 AM, buddy.
1:30 p.m.
But
Yeah.
but
And we'll have a chance to get our heads around all the new stuff coming into the game. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good show.
So
but if you're not
Friday,
if you're,
Saturday is outfit hunting.
outfit hunting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking he was. I thought he was going to Victoria's Secrets or something. I was like,
Oh my God.
what? But
I have not had enough Guinness for that.
but
Call Frigo. We're coming over to the club.
But if you're
Gio,
not, if
you'll
you're,
be alive on Tuesday.
if you're not following the Landmark Explorer Twitch page, definitely follow that channel as well. They have a lot of different shows. They have a lot of different streamers, and they kind of tag team in and out. And I don't know what they tag team on, but we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. So please post a link to your Twitch page. One of you guys.
Right
Thank you.
Yeah, right there.
And definitely follow their channel as well. And thank you all for joining us for episode 4. It is 4 because we didn't do one on Monday. That's right.
Yeah.
So episode 4 of Let's Talk Landmark. And thank you all for joining us. And definitely, watch us on the next show and next time we stream.
Give us your feedback.
Yep, definitely give us your feedback and tell us what is important to you about Landmark. What do you want us to talk about?
Are we being frank enough for you?
Are we being frank enough for you?
I know.
Thanks, Terry.
I'm Bill Frank.
we got a new saying just for you now.
Yeah, indeed.
So with that, and we will see you next time.
Be good, everybody.